Imagine getting a text from the ex who abandoned you on your wedding day, and the message says, "I miss you." What do you do with that? Ignore it? Respond? Or let old wounds reopen? This isn't fiction. It's not a scene from some romantic drama. It's my life. It happened on a quiet Friday evening. The kind where the world feels soft and slow, where healing feels like a habit. I wasn't thinking about the past. I wasn't expecting anything unusual. I was curled up on the couch after work, sipping tea, watching television, smiling at nothing in particular. My phone buzzed beside me, lighting up with the usual stream of notifications. I glanced at it and froze. It was from my ex-fiancé, Felipe. And the message was just 3 words, "I miss you." At first, I thought maybe I was seeing things. A mistake. A pocket dial. A cruel joke. Or was it real? I deleted it. But the next day, at almost the same time, it came again. This time with my name, "I miss you, Olivia." That was when I knew it was real. The man who once promised me forever. The man who held my trembling hands beneath fairy lights and whispered dreams into the night. The man who watched me choose a wedding dress with eyes full of love, or so I thought. The man who left me at the altar, leaving behind shame, silence, and sorrow where vows should have been. And now, 2 years later, he had sent me a message, "I miss you." A ghost of a sentence that felt like a dagger. I remembered the night he proposed, how he trembled as he held the ring, how I cried when I said yes. I remembered how we used to talk about our future like it was already written. The house with the blue shutters, the dog named Charlie, the baby names whispered under blankets. Everything had seemed perfect, until Lucille reappeared. She was an old school friend of Felipe's, the daughter of a senator. Back then, they had been close, but after graduation she relocated. Years later, she returned, not as the girl I'd only heard about, but as her father's private secretary. Disciplined, elegant, confident. A woman wrapped in the aura of influence and wealth. That was when the shift began. One day, Felipe was mine, present, tender, and sure. The next, I caught him looking at me with eyes I no longer recognized. Cold, distracted, far away. Someone whispered they had seen the 2 of them together, on a beach, in another city. My heart sank. I wanted to dismiss it, to tell myself it was nothing. After all, our wedding date had already been fixed. Invitations were printed, preparations in full swing. When I asked Felipe, his denial was swift, almost too swift. And I chose to believe him. Or maybe I chose not to believe myself. Felipe wasn't just any man. He was an electrical engineer in a reputable company. Smart, ambitious, and quietly charming. The kind of man people noticed without him trying. I had met him at the birthday party of an old school friend. The music was loud, laughter spilled everywhere, but somehow our eyes found each other across the room. That was the spark that lit what I thought would be forever. I, on the other hand, was a teacher in a private secondary school. My life was simple, ordinary even, but fulfilling. I loved my students, my work, the little routines of my days. Felipe always said he admired how grounded I was, how I carried peace with me wherever I went. But then came Lucille. His past resurfaced with a power I wasn't prepared for. She wasn't just a memory anymore. She was a presence. More elegant than before, more commanding, more untouchable. Their catching up seemed harmless at first. But slowly, I began to notice the cracks. His promises of forever no longer carried the same weight. His hand in mine grew restless, almost impatient. His gaze, once fixed on me, wandered elsewhere. And though I fought it, I knew. Deep down, I knew. Something had shifted. Slowly, Felipe's calls grew less frequent. His warmth faded. I told myself it was just wedding stress. I told myself love would win. But I was wrong. On the day of the wedding, I waited at the altar. But Felipe never showed. I had never felt so humiliated. I sent texts, called, prayed, even sent a friend to his house. Nothing. The next day, his message arrived. Cold. Final. He was no longer interested. He loved someone else more. No explanations. Just a photo of himself with Lucille on a beach, smiling. My world collapsed. I prayed, I begged God for help. I hoped he would return. But he never did. I picked up the pieces of my heart and kept moving. I buried myself in work, in the laughter of my students, in the embrace of family. Slowly, painfully, I rebuilt myself. I learned how to sleep alone. How to laugh without guilt. How to stop checking my phone for a message that never came. I had worked so hard to move on. And now, 2 years later, this message. I miss you. The timing felt cruel. Just when I had begun to feel free, he returned to stir the ashes I had long buried. What did he miss? My smile? My warmth? Or my poverty? Did he regret his choice? Was it loneliness speaking? Nostalgia creeping in during some late-night reflection? Or was it real this time? I didn't respond. I placed my phone face down and let the tears come, not because I still loved him, but because I had loved him so deeply once. And that kind of love doesn't vanish. It just changes shape. I thought about replying, about asking why, about demanding answers. But I felt that some doors, once closed, should stay closed. Not because I'm bitter, but because I'm finally whole. And I will not allow myself to be cracked again. So, I let the message sit there, unanswered, like a relic from a life I no longer live. Now it's your turn, my dear listener. What would you do if you were in my position? Would you respond? Or let the silence speak for you? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments below. Let's talk about it. And if this story touched you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so more people can join the conversation. Thanks for listening. And until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and remember, sometimes silence is the loudest answer of all.